All right, let's talk about a framework that's all about one thing, making sure all your hard work actually leads to big results. We're going to dive into how to stop just being busy and start being truly productive.
You've been there, right? You're putting in the hours, grinding away on a project or studying for exams, and you just hit a wall. It's called the productivity plateau. And this image, it just nails a fundamental truth. Working harder isn't always the answer. The real question is, are you putting all that energy in the right place?
So this is the question you have to ask yourself. I mean, think about your packed schedule. Classes, group projects, networking, maybe even an internship hunt. Are the things you're doing every day actually moving you forward, or are they just motion, stuff that makes you feel busy? Being honest about this is seriously the first step to making a change.
To figure that out, we've got a really clear roadmap. First, we'll look at the big trap we all fall into. Then, we'll build out this awesome 3-pillar framework for high performance. And finally, we'll wrap it all up into a playbook you can literally start using tomorrow.
Okay, let's get into it. The single biggest hurdle for most high achievers is mistaking activity for actual achievement. It's this massive difference between just being in motion and actually making progress. So, the question is, how do we get out of this trap?
Well, the answer is a 3-step framework that really builds on itself. See, it all starts inside, with your mindset. Then it moves to the outside world, your actions. And it finishes by teaching you how to protect and aim your most powerful asset, your focus.
So let's start at the beginning with the foundation. It all kicks off right here with Pillar 1. Look, before you can do anything effectively, you have to build the right internal foundation. Your mindset is kind of like the operating system for everything else you do.
Now, at the heart of this pillar is a really powerful psychological idea, the internal locus of control. All that means is you believe that you are in the driver's seat of your life. It's about taking 100% ownership and dropping the habit of blaming other things. You know, a bad group member, a tough professor, that stuff just keeps you stuck.
And this image just illustrates that point perfectly. Look, we can't always control our circumstances, the glass we get thrown into. But we can always control how we respond. Do we freak out and splash around? Or do we adapt, stay calm, and figure out how to float? That decision, right there, is what building a strong mindset is all about.
Okay, so once that mindset is locked in, we can move on to Pillar 2, engineering our actions. This is where we take that feeling of ownership and turn it into real, tangible results in the world.
And this is such a critical distinction to make. Movement feels productive, right? Clearing your inbox, going to networking events, planning your project forever. But progress is what actually moves you forward. It's shipping the product, closing the deal, actually landing that job offer. High performers are ruthless about prioritizing progress over movement. Every single day.
You know, it's so easy to fall into the trap of waiting for the perfect time to do something. But as this quote says, just taking action, even if it's not perfect, is way better than doing nothing. It builds momentum, it gives you feedback, and it grows your confidence to just keep going. And engineering your actions isn't just about your to-do list, it's also about managing your own state. This isn't about pushing feelings down, it's about responding to them with a deliberate action. So instead of letting stress or overthinking completely derail your day, you choose a specific physical action to hit the reset button and get back in control. And that brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, Pillar 3. Once you have the right mindset and you're taking the right actions, you have to protect your most valuable and most limited resource. Let's talk about how to turn your focus into your secret weapon.
Let's be real. The modern world is just a constant attack on our attention. And if you're an MBA student, you're juggling 5 classes, club responsibilities, a job search. It's insane. But trying to do everything just means you end up being mediocre at all of it. Learning to say no isn't about being negative. It's a strategic move that lets you put your full power into the things that actually matter.
This slide basically shows the choice we have to make every single day, maybe every hour. On the left, you've got passive consumption, letting your phone feed you endless distractions. On the right, you have active growth, making a conscious choice to invest your attention in things that actually make you better. The choice is always yours. So, let's pull all this together. We've gone through the whole framework, and now we're going to boil it down into a simple, powerful playbook with the key actions you need to remember.
So here it is, your playbook. Number 1, always focus on the result, not just how much effort you put in. 2, Take total responsibility for your outcomes. 3. Act decisively. Remember, progress over perfection. 4. Every day, ask yourself, is this movement or is this progress? And finally, concentrate on fewer, more important things and be the master of your own attention. That's the core of the whole framework.
And that brings us to the most important part, actually doing something with this, because knowledge is pretty useless without action. So I'll leave you with this question. Looking back at everything we just talked about, what is the single biggest average habit that's holding you back that you can commit to getting rid of starting tomorrow?